Talk about a dream that can really stir you up. Dreaming about sex with your ex. These dreams can be distressing or they can be pleasurable. They're often a head scratcher. Why am I dreaming about having sex with my ex? You're like the guy from The Office here who says, yeah, if I could stop having sex dreams about my ex while in bed with my new girlfriend, that'd be great. Well, sex with an ex in a dream can provoke a very wide variety of reactions. And a key insight is the ex is an actor. It's a character in a story, just like any other dream character. The ex, as a character in your dream, could simply be a face and body that the dreaming mind uses to make the story believable. The dream wants to create a sex scene, so it uses your ex. Think back to our casting agent who is there deep inside the mind while you're dreaming, and it says, hey, I got a scene here. It's a sex scene, and I need to choose someone to fill this role. So the dream pulls into your memory and says, oh, wait, I got the perfect person right here. The ex that you had sex with. And now it wants to say something through sex as symbolism. Now, sex in dreams can be pretty straightforward. I've seen dreams about sex with people that, the dreamer knows that is about things such as giving and receiving pleasure, about opening up or closing off. There's a great variety of things that can be symbolized by sex in a dream. Sex with your ex could be used because, for example, you never really had much pleasure with the sex with your ex. And so now the dream wants to address that subject, at least of how to get pleasure from sex. And so it pulls in the ex as a character in that story, in that sex scene, to help you to learn something about yourself. But there are other possibilities because sex in dreams is symbolism, and it can symbolize, for example, closeness or intimacy. You can be close and intimate with something other than a person, but the person in the dream that you have sex with symbolizes it. Closeness, such as being close to a subject, being intimate with something that you create. Sex is a creative process. You make love, you make babies, so the point is that your dream is beginning with an idea, and then it's finding a way of expressing that idea through symbolism. And there are many ideas that can be expressed as sex. So this is something that you need to learn how to see the hidden meaning behind it. It's not always the case, as in the examples that I gave, where dreams can address subjects related to sex, but usually sex is symbolism of some kind. And in my experience, the most common thing that sex in dreams symbolizes is what you integrate into your personality. You go through a daily process of having experiences of life, and then a nightly process of sorting and collating those experiences. You will adapt in ways to the everyday experiences of life. Some things will be integrated into you. They will become a permanent part of you, and some things they won't. So when you bring something into yourself that becomes part of you based off of your daily experience of life, you can dream about it as sex, because while having sex, you are allowing someone else into you, either physically or emotionally or spiritually, or just say personally. Remember that sex with your ex is symbolism for something. I want to get into an example, great example of how sex with your ex is symbolism. Here's the description. The person says, quote, "So I've had a dream twice now where I had sex with one of my exes. He's someone I'm still very good friends with after 6 years of on and off. We've both dated other people since we were last together. I have zero interest in him physically, but love him as a friend." Zero interest in him physically. So the dream is probably not using sex with her ex as something that is about her sex life, something related to the subject of sex in a direct sort of way. But indirectly, we are seeing other ideas related to sex come into play. She says that the ex is still part of her life and that they are very good friends. She feels very close and intimate with her ex. And that's the bottom line. That's really what sex with her ex symbolizes. It's that personal closeness and intimacy. I know someone who had a dream about having sex with close friends of her boyfriend, and it really distressed her. But we figured out, like most dreams, that there is a hidden meaning in it, and it's not, there really wasn't anything to be distressed about, but there was something to learn. She was home on break from school and had been speaking with her friends, the same friends in the dreams that she has sex with, about things that were very close and intimate to her personally. She was really opening up about her life with these friends, but she wasn't having the same conversations with her boyfriend. So the dream showed it as her cheating on her boyfriend with their mutual friends, because what she's really doing is doing something with them that's close, personal, and intimate that she's not doing with him. So cheating is an idea that's stretched, and it expresses the underlying situational and personal dynamics that are going on. Okay, so back to our dream. She loves him as a friend. Key detail. They're close, they're intimate, their relationship continues even though they're not together and they're not physical with each other. Sex, in this case, shows that personal closeness and intimacy. Now, we also have covered other ideas here that sex can symbolize something such as a creative process, a creative idea, or an internal process of personal growth. Now, cheating with an ex. Talk about another kind of dream that can really stir people up. When interpreting a dream about cheating with an ex, it's the same as interpreting the dream of having sex with an ex. Focus first on the action and the symbolism of it. Cheating has a variety of ways that it can be used as symbolism. We just saw one in the last example. Here are some questions to ask yourself if you have such a dream. Are you cheating in some other sense of the word? Cheating can mean to play unfair. You can cheat on a test. You can cheat emotionally by taking interest in someone else or expressing feelings and emotions with that person that you don't with your partner, such as in the last example that I gave. Another question to ask is, are you cheating in your thoughts by fantasizing about your ex? In other words, you're in a new relationship, but your mind is still back there with your ex. Are you in a relationship and fantasizing at all about sex with someone else, such as while masturbating? I have found masturbation to be at the heart of some dreams, at least, about sex, especially when you feel like you're having sex with someone else and your current partner comes to mind. You're dreaming and your current partner comes to mind and you're like, oh, this is cheating. Well, what that can symbolize really, or what it can connect with, is that you are masturbating and thinking about someone other than your partner. Cheating is a temptation. Sex is a temptation. So a dream can start with that idea and build a story around it about being tempted by anything. Are you crossing a personal boundary? Cheating can symbolize crossing some sort of personal boundary, going to a place where you feel like that you shouldn't go, or someone else is doing that to you. They're crossing your personal boundaries. So what if you dream that your partner cheats with an ex? Now this is one of those dreams. Boy, I get a lot of them at my website at dreams123.net where people comment. They'll say, hey, I had this dream that my partner is cheating on me with their ex. And really, you have to look at that the same way as we have with these other examples, as there is some kind of symbolism at play. And what I have found at the source of many of these dreams is there is insecurity in the dreamer. They are afraid that they are not good enough for their partner, so their partner is going to go back to their ex or seek them out. It could be part of a pattern that has happened in the person's life. They could be used to this, where they get cheated on because the partner that they're with ends up hooking up with their ex. And there's another way of thinking about it is your partner cheating with an ex could symbolize something about the past that is catching up with you. There's a simple idea at the heart of that story, which is the past represented as the ex is catching up with you. And I find this sometimes at the heart of these dreams because the root of it is that the person is afraid that something from their past is going to catch up and ruin their relationship. It could be someone from the past that reappears in their life. It could be a behavior or something that they thought that they were over, they're past it, but now they see it coming up in themselves again. People will sometimes change themselves in the beginning of a relationship, put their best foot forward, but if it's not a permanent change, then that means the old person is going to come back at some point. It's going to show itself in the relationship, and that could start causing problems. So all of this goes under the general heading of the past is catching up with you. Focus on your reaction, because you know subconsciously what everything in your dream symbolizes, and you react based on that subconscious knowledge. Some dreams are best thought of as simulations or scenarios that help you see what you really think and feel. Your reaction is key. Let's look at reaction in this example. And I want to mention before I forget that we saw a very strong reaction in a dream that we detailed already about the woman who, she's trying to get the directions home on her phone. The man steals her phone. She tracks him down, stabs him through the heart. She's reacting that way because she knows subconsciously what the man symbolizes, her ex. This dream goes off in a different direction, and I think it's a really interesting dream that's going to illustrate this idea of dreams creating scenarios that test your reactions, and through those reactions, they show what you really think and feel. So here's the description, quote, "I went to her house," her is his new girlfriend, "and we had amazing sex. Then we fell asleep in each other's arms. So, dream begins. While asleep, I had a very vivid dream of a girl I used to date. Me and my current girlfriend were sitting outside of a bar we go to while the other girl, his ex, passed by with a group of friends. Before she walked by completely, she separated from her friends and came over to us. She started talking to me and basically seemed as if she was trying to hang out later. And we know what that means. But I was trying to make it clear that I was with another girl." So you see that he's being tested. He has a choice about how to react. He could have done a little wink nudge with his ex and said, "Yeah, call me later." Yeah. But he doesn't. He makes it very clear that he is with his new girl, and that's the one that he's committed to. And what this really shows, the dream shows him that he is falling for his new girlfriend. He is committed to this relationship. He's not going to go back to the past. He has no interest in returning to the past. So the dream uses his ex in this scenario to test him. I want to go over some of the scenarios that dreams commonly come up with that are related to your ex. And they'll be a little different than anything that we've covered so far. One of the themes that I find fairly often in these types of dreams is you can't reach your ex on the phone or find them while you are in a dream setting. The person just sort of disappears. So you begin with the base idea here that there's something about you that you can't find or that's lost. It can also mean that you've lost that connection with the person who is your ex. You're trying to reach them on the phone. What does that mean? You're trying to connect with them. I saw this in a dream that a man had about following his ex up some stairs, and he ends up in the attic with her, and the environment is very dim. He's trying to speak with her. It's like he finally sees her. He's got all these things on his heart that he wants to say to her, and she's not having any of it. She gets up and she leaves the scene, walks back down the steps. And when he gets out into the hallway, he is in a completely dark environment. He can't find his way anywhere. So what this really shows is that he is in the dark personally. He's trying to connect with his ex, but he can't find her in the sense of she's no longer available. There is no emotional connection that she has with him, even though vice versa, he still wants an emotional connection with her. If you see your ex with their new partner in a dream, what does it mean? Well, a question or some questions to ask yourself is, do you compare yourself to your ex's new person? I saw this at play in a dream that a man had. He had been on Facebook before he went to bed. He saw that his ex changed his relationship status to in a relationship. So that makes him curious. He starts clicking around, and he sees, my ex has someone new. So now the dreamer is comparing himself based off of the little bit of information that he has, a picture and maybe some, posts or whatever. And he goes to bed and he dreams that he's supposed to get together for lunch with his ex and his ex's new person. And he shows up and he's in shambles. His clothes are all messy and his hair's all messy. And, what that's really saying is that in comparison, based on the little bit of information that he knows about his ex's new person, that he, the dreamer, feels like he doesn't live up to it. He's a step down in comparison. His ex has stepped up by getting this new person. Whether that's true or not, we don't know, but we know that he feels that way, and we see it portrayed subjectively in the dream. It can also, this scenario of seeing your ex with a new partner, whether or not your ex actually has a new partner, can symbolize something such as feeling jealous or feeling insecure. Here's another one that I get at my website related to pregnancy dreams. The person will have a dream that they are carrying their ex's child, or that their ex is pregnant with their child. Now, this is a huge discrepancy with reality in most cases. Pregnancy is not happening here. Sometimes these dreams happen years later. It was physically impossible to have gotten pregnant by your ex or to have gotten your ex pregnant and for them to be running around with your child. So we know that this is just pure symbolism. And what I find is that it symbolizes something about you is still with that person. A part of you is inside of them if they are pregnant with your child in the dream, or if you are pregnant with their child, it means a part of them is still with you. And it can include with you emotionally or spiritually or even physically. The example that comes to mind is, you caught a disease or something off the person, but there are other things physically that you could have gone through changes. Like, let's say you gain weight during a relationship. Well, you also gain weight during a pregnancy. So the dream can put these two ideas together, show you as pregnant with your ex's child because you're still carrying the weight that you gained while you were with your ex. Here's another possibility. Your ex scorns or hates you in a dream. Well, if this is not reality, then you really need to look at it as a projection for how you feel about yourself, especially how you feel about the person that you were in that relationship and how you acted and the things that you did. The dream character is acting out your thoughts and feelings. You dream that your ex is dead. That can symbolize that your feelings about the person are dead. You're over the relationship now. I have found this also in dreaming about your ex being with someone new, that at heart of that dream is, hey, good for you. I'm glad you've gone on with your life. I feel nothing for you anymore. I saw this in a dream where a woman finds out that her ex is in a coma. And it really, what it symbolizes is that she doesn't have any feelings for him anymore. The relationship is lifeless, just like the body laying in the bed when it's in a coma. And then finally, you dream about digging up your ex from a grave or burying them in a grave. And well, hello, memories. See, we say that memories get buried, right? So if that's the case, your memories of your ex are buried under, let's just say, layers of time. When you dig up your ex from a grave, it can mean that you're digging up the memories. And if you are burying your ex in a grave and in a dream, then what it can mean is that you're trying to bury the memories of the person. There's an important point to make here, is people have a tendency to read too much into dreams about an ex. Some people even take it as a sign to get in touch with their ex. That's a bad idea. They are confusing the dream character that looks like their ex with the actual person who is their ex. I had someone comment on my website that she had had a dream about giving a blowjob to her ex, and she was interpreting that dream as that she should really go and do it. Now, she's in a new relationship, and what she said was, I'm going to tell my new boyfriend that I'm going to go give a blowjob to my ex-boyfriend. And what I saw in that scenario is that she is still connected with him. Her heart is still with her ex. And by stating the desire that she wants to tell her new boyfriend about the dream and then go and do what she thinks the dream is telling her to do, what she's really doing is being manipulative. She is trying to get a response out of her new boyfriend based on this thing that she's justifying by the fact that it came in a dream. Well, hey, who can tell you that you're wrong because you dreamed about it? Hey, if the dream says you need to go be with your ex, then go be with them. And then what? Come home to your new boyfriend? And anyway, that's an extreme example, but I have seen this play out in many different ways. And usually the question that the person has is, hey, this dream sure is telling me to get back in touch with them. I think they could still have feelings for me. Hey, in the dream, we were back together and we were happy again. Well, the dream is probably saying something else. Dreaming about an ex can be about self-love. We went over this before. I'll say it again. This is very important. You loved that person. Can you love yourself? Oftentimes we find the ability to love ourselves by first loving someone else. Dreaming about being happy again because you're with your ex can mean that you're ready to be happy again without that person. I saw this play out in a dream where a guy is with his ex. They are together, they're holding hands, they're walking through this scene where there's like meadows and, like they're in a meadow and there are butterflies and everything's all happy. And his ex points out that they're holding hands and she says, hey, this happened without you noticing. And what the dream really means is that he was happy again, unlike he had been since they broke up, and he hadn't noticed it yet. And the dream made it clear that he was happy again. It can mean that you're ready to date again. You have a dream about your ex. The ex was a past relationship. It can mean that you are ready to date again or that you're preparing for this. I do find this theme quite often in dreams about your ex. And what you're doing is basically preparing. You're telling yourself, I'm ready to date again. It could be that you're ready to get ready to date again, that there are maybe steps that you need to take first, but that the process is moving that direction. And finally, dreams about your ex can connect with emotional closure. A dream that a man had that is a great illustration of this is he was having some real difficulty getting over his ex. So he dreams that he sees her in her car and he comes over and he wants to get into the car with her, but she says no. And what that means is that he can't go forward with her in her life. Their relationship is over. She tells him to go to the window and they talk through the window. And she says, look, you've been through other breakups before and you figured out a way of getting through it. So you need to apply that to our relationship. You need to get over this. He said he woke up in the morning and it was done. Emotional closure. I found this in other dreams too. Sometimes, remember, dreams can be scenarios, and they create these scenarios to help you to work through things, to learn things. Sometimes it's just to work through emotions, and that's what that dream and others like it that I've seen, that's what they're doing. Okay. Hey, I want to invite you to continue exploring dream interpretation, dreams about your ex. Well, as you've seen, this is a great way of exploring the subject of dream interpretation. You know, we've had some very valuable lessons to learn here about seeing the ex as a character in a story, of separating the character from the real person, of understanding the person as symbolism, of understanding them as playing a role in a story. So if you want to go further with this, and I hope that you do, then refer to my book, The Dream Interpretation Dictionary, Symbols, Signs, and Meanings. You see the cover right here. If you're part of my dreams, online dream classes, then you already have a copy of this book. My first book about dreams is called Dreams 1, 2, 3, Remember, Interpret, and Live Your Dreams. It is still available at retailers. Just put in the title and you'll find it. It's at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, a bunch of other places too. My website is dreams123.net. That's my main website for dreams. And then at dreams123.com, I have shared everything that I know about dream interpretation. My entire Dreams 123 dream interpretation system is explained there. Of course, you can go to dreamschool.net. You can share your dreams at dreams.reddit.com. It's a great place to share your dreams, give feedback, and get feedback. And of course, if you want to know more about me, go to jmdeboard.com, start from there. So I am JM DeBoard, and this is my lesson on dreams about your ex, how to interpret those dreams, how to understand the meaning and significance of them. And I hope this has been enlightening for you. It's been my pleasure presenting this material to you, and I'll see you for the next lesson. Thank you.